Huw, you're set for your 50th cap for Scotland this weekend. How much is that going to mean to you?
Yeah, it means the world to me. Obviously, it's been a while since my debut, so it's been a long struggle to get to this point, I guess. But yeah, I'm just super proud to reach this sort of milestone. Playing international rugby is like an absolute dream come true, and yeah, to do it 50 times for my country is a huge honour.
We're here at the stadium that you're going to make that landmark appearance. What do you make of it?
It's pretty cool. It's obviously not the biggest stadium I've played at, but I do quite like it. It's wrapped around, so I think if it gets packed out, it'll be a really good atmosphere. The stands are pretty close to the field, so yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to it.
An artificial surface as well, something that you're used to. Will that play in our favour?
Well, I'm sure they're used to it as well, but it'll allow for some sort of fast attacking rugby, I think. So yeah, it should be a good day. I think the weather will be nice. We're obviously used to it. Glasgow and Edinburgh both have artificial pitches, so yeah, looking forward to getting out there on Saturday.
Take me back to your debut for Scotland. What are your memories from that?
Yeah, so we were out in Japan. It was only a 2-week summer tour, so I hadn't had long to sort of get to know the boys that much. I was obviously brand new in the environment. I was very shy, hadn't really spoken. But yeah, I came off the bench in that second game. All I remember really was that it was very sweaty. I think my first involvement was actually, I got a jackal turnover, which is unlike me. But yeah, I think it was a close game. We won in the end. I didn't really do much else after that. I'd come on for the last 15 minutes or so. But yeah, it was incredible just to be involved in the setup, playing with guys who I'd watched for years, like playing in the Six Nations. So it was a quite surreal experience, especially as I was at a different club. I wasn't sort of at Glasgow yet, and so I didn't know any of the boys personally. They were literally all sort of heroes, guys that I watched on TV before coming into the squad. So it was all pretty new and quite surreal, but yeah, really cool. And then obviously I got my home debut against Australia a few months later, which was really special because that was obviously at Murrayfield. I got a start as well, and a couple of tries, so that was another special day.
You spoke about them being your heroes. Who in particular stood out for you? Were you a big Scotland fan growing up?
Well, yeah, I supported Scotland growing up and watched them sort of in the Six Nations. I remember around that time, I focused on the centres quite a lot because I was a centre myself, and I remember watching sort of Matt Scott and Alex Dunbar tear it up. I think I watched Alex Dunbar score like a mad try against Italy in the Six Nations. It might have been when he'd like maybe first come in, but I thought he was unreal.
It's been some journey for you internationally because you've been kind of in and out at points. Was there ever a period that you thought you wouldn't be able to get to as many caps as 50?
Yeah, absolutely. It sort of all came kind of pretty quickly at the start, and then yeah, I had a few injuries, a few times where I was sort of out of form and wasn't selected, and yeah, like you can never take getting picked for your country for granted. I think you have to work really hard to just make the squad, and then obviously train well and be on form to be making the match day squad as well. So yeah, there was a time certainly when I thought I'd probably played my last game for Scotland. A couple of years ago when I left Glasgow and thought I sort of didn't play for a full year, and I thought that's probably it for me. But I think yeah, I managed to sort of find my way back into form and stay fit for a bit longer, and get back into the squad. So and I've probably done that a couple of times. Yeah, through injury and non-selection. So I consider myself to be a fairly resilient person, be able to bounce back from a lot of those setbacks. So yeah, to be able to get to this point after the journey I've had, I'm really proud of that.
What was that feeling like when you thought you were totally out of it? That must have been...
Yeah, it's difficult. Obviously, you're always disappointed when you don't get picked for a team, whether sort of you're at school or if it's your club or your country. It can always be sort of quite painful. I think by that point I'd almost come to terms with it. I'd kind of made peace with the fact that I'd had my shift in a Scotland jersey, and maybe that was it, and I'd just focus on club rugby from then on. But like I said, you never know when that call's going to come. Like if you're playing well and you're on form and you're staying fit, then you've always got a chance. So yeah, obviously managed to get back in the fold and play a few more games.
Yeah, it's been some turnaround since then. You've been a mainstay in the team for the last couple of Six Nations, and your mate Sione as well. How special is that relationship with?
Yeah, that's obviously been brilliant for me. Nah, he's obviously a quality player. Coming back to Glasgow, I'd obviously watched him when he joined Glasgow. I was away at the time, but I'd obviously seen how well he was playing. But yeah, it was when I got back that I realised we see the game very similarly. And after a couple of games, I realised that we obviously had something quite good going. We make a good combination and we play off each other pretty well, which is exactly what you want from your centres. I think coaches will often sort of stick with a combination if it's working, and if you keep playing well, you'll keep getting games together. So yeah, I'm obviously thankful to Sione for playing so well and giving him the ball a lot. But yeah, it's been good, and obviously hopefully we can keep that going for a couple more years.
Are there any frustrating moments that you look back on in terms of driving you forward?
Yeah, plenty. Like I said, there's been times where I've got injured, which has been really frustrating, especially if you think you're sort of hitting a bit of form. And I've had some subpar games, I guess. Yeah, I mean, no one means to make mistakes, but it's a game, like it's professional sport, and these things happen. I think for a long time there were question marks over my defence early on in my career, and it's something that I've worked really hard at to fix. I think now I've gotten to a point where people don't really talk about it, which is probably as good as it's going to get. That sort of shows that it's not really an issue anymore, and I'm obviously pretty happy about that. And look, I work hard. The feedback I get from the coaches around that area is really good, so I'm pretty confident in that regard. But yeah, there've been frustrating moments. I think from a team point of view, we've sort of come so close in big games, especially during Six Nations, where we've not strung a couple of wins together where we really felt we could. In the last couple of years, some of those games have been really tight, and we've let them slip away, which has been very frustrating. Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing for me is that we've not had any real success to show for like the work that we've done and the form that we've been on and the rugby that we play. I think we play some of the best rugby in the world. You look at the stats, all the numbers, we're right up there for a lot of areas of the game, but I think it's those big games where we sometimes fall away, and I think that's probably a big regret.
How have you enjoyed this tour to the Americas?
Yeah, it's been great fun. It's obviously been a lot of travel, seeing 4 different countries, but it's been really cool. I think what I've enjoyed about it the most is sort of the connection with all the boys. There's been a lot of new faces, a chance to get to know some younger guys who are coming through. I'm obviously one of the oldest on tour. I'm the oldest here right now, as Elliot left. So yeah, it's been really fun so far, and obviously, look, it's the end of a long season. We're hoping to wrap it up with a nice win at the end of it.
As you said, there's been some new faces introduced into camp, people like Max Williamson, someone that you know at club level. You must be happy for him to get all 4 games and really impress.
Yeah, look, he's been brilliant. He's been brilliant this season with Glasgow. I think you forget how young he is, because like the way he plays plays as if he's got sort of years of experience, whereas this is literally his first year of proper pro rugby. So yeah, I mean, the more players we have coming through like that is going to be huge for sort of Glasgow and Scotland.
You spoke about how you're the oldest here. How have you found that as you've become more of a leader in this camp?
I mean, I say that I don't really act like I'm the oldest. I never have really. It doesn't feel like I suddenly have to be all serious and be a leader. I suppose it feels like some of the younger boys do look up to me. I think some boys come to me for advice every now and then, and in training I'm able to sort of give little bits of advice here and there. But yeah, look, I'm just happy to be one of the boys still. I'm enjoying it. I don't feel old, to be honest, so yeah, age is just a number.
Well, you're in charge of the court sessions and you were in charge of the downtime activities in Washington, which people are still going on about. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so the court sessions, I recently got handed that poison chalice. So yeah, that's part of a thing we do once a week where anyone that's messed up, I suppose, may get a fine. Not monetary, it is usually some sort of embarrassing thing they have to do. But yeah, so I'm in charge of that. It went pretty well, I think, in my first session. Got another one this week. I have some awards to hand out actually, so I'm looking at the positives as well as the negatives. And yeah, Washington, Shugs Tours was a huge success. I was kind of thrown under the bus for this because it wasn't my week to be in charge of the off-day activities, but I said that I was quite keen to go check out some of the museums and take those Lime scooters for a spin, and everyone just seemed like they would be keen for that and jumped on board. So I had to start getting organised for it. Organised a route. I decided which museums we'd be hitting and a venue for lunch as well. So look, it went down really well. I got great reviews from the lads. Everyone was super positive about it and we had a great day. So that's my job done. I won't do another Shugs Tours.
So you've not got it planned for Montevideo?
I've got nothing planned here. I'm just going to chill, I think, get my feet up.
Well, you speak about getting your feet up. You've had a long season, winning the URC with Glasgow, straight out here. You must be looking forward to a bit of a rest after this game.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a very long time, I think. It's probably been over 12 months we've been going since the beginning of sort of that World Cup pre-season. So yeah, a lot of training sessions, quite a few games. I'll be looking forward to getting home and yeah, spending some time with my family. Obviously got a baby daughter. She'll be 4 months when I get back. So yeah, I'm looking forward to spending some time with her.
How's fatherhood been so far?
It's been cool. For the first sort of 3 months I was at home the whole time. I was actually injured when she was born. I had my hand in a cast, so I wasn't actually able to do anything, but it was just nice to be at home all the time, which was really good. It's quite tough. Lack of sleep. I slept really well. It's my wife that's up all night, so I feel bad for her. But yeah, look, it's completely life-changing, but it's so rewarding at the same time. I've absolutely been loving it. I've really missed her in this time we've been away. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back and having a few weeks off to sort of catch up.